What it do, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy SIJ. Subscribe to the channel if you new. Hit that like button. Now, basically, this story time right here is about the time where I got robbed by somebody who I thought was my friend with my own damn knife. Now, basically, this story start out. Hit the like button to subscribe to the channel because I got a lot of stories. You know what I'm saying? I might as well start telling them I got a channel or whatever. It is what it is. Now, anyway, right? I'm a young boy. I'm probably like 16 or whatever. You know, me and my homies, we was broke. You dig what I'm saying? I come from the hood. You feel me? I lived in shelters before, all that when I was a young boy, whatever. Anyway, all types of story time, just living in the hood of Philly. Now, anyway, me and my homie, right? We used to stay going down 69th Street. No. First of all, let me start the story out with where I met these people and who I was with. Now, I with my homie K, and then I'm with some. Now, it was we used to hang out in school. We was cool people. Now, we used to sell Pokemon cards and back in the day, Pokemon cards and like these little army things like in the little bicycle joints. They were popular. Just like back in the day when yo-yos was popular, y'all don't remember that era. That was way back. Yo-yos, and then it was spinning tops. Y'all don't remember that era. So it was eras of fads back in the day, and everybody used to. It was a yo-yo era. Eras of that. When I mention that, people know what I mean. No, well, people like 30 and up know what I mean. I'm 30. So anyway, 31. Now, anyway, I'm an old head. So we used to go down 69th Street because we was broke. So we used to rob 69th Street down Philly. We used to go in the stores, come out. We used to tuck stuff under the shirt. We used to, roll. I was slick. I'd be like, oh, what's that? You know what I mean? Oh, what's that? Roll it up my sleeve. Oh, that's pretty nice. Oh, how about that? Yeah, what's that right there? Oh, rip that open. Like we used to rob 69th Street. You know what I'm saying? We was broke. Don't do that no more, thank God. Learned my lesson. But anyway, so yeah, so me and Kay, we used to always rob 69th Street for all types of stuff, and we used to sell it at school. You dig what I'm saying? Now, mind you, it was this other cat at school that we used to always see. He was like the grimy type of boy. Like he was like even more broke than we were. You know what I'm saying? We had cribs or whatever. We don't think he had a crib, nothing like that. So he used to be around the school. We used to see him or whatever, and when we used to rob 69th Street, or it's like some other places we robbed the whole supermarket before. But pretty much we used to see him around our little schemes and robberies or whatever. Or not really robberies at gunpoint. We used to just slip stuff up our sleeve, like broke kid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Bad ex little kid stuff. You know what I mean? Not kid stuff, teenage, whatever you want to call it. So we used to see him, and then we started to hang with him one day when we went down there. So we go down there one week. We used to, sporadically go down there one day, one week, then go down there one day, another week, come back with a bunch of Pokemon cards and like little toy bites and all that stuff. Then we would go down there and one day, another week, and we used to always see him too because he used to be down there every day. He lived down there apparently. He was homeless or something, but he used to go to our school or whatever, which was Sayre. Now basically, right, we start to hang with him in one of our schemes. We just link up with him in GameStop. Matter of fact, it wasn't GameStop back then, it was Funko Land. We used to hang out with him next to the movie theater. We used to hang out with but we hung out with him one day. Like, you know what? We was robbing GameStop one day. We slipping like little Super Nintendo games and all types of games, just like we just robbing. Now we start hanging with him because we seen him robbing him too. He like, oh, y'all on the same type of time. They used to keep a little bin with a bunch of games and stuff in it in the middle of Funko Land. And we used to be like, oh, yeah, well, that's what's up. Or they do little Pokemon cards in the little packs and stuff. And we used to be like, oh, how much is these? $5.99, huh? Look, what happened to that? Slip. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. So we used to, boom, we going to, Kmart and all that. We trying to get as much stuff as we can to go back in school and sell it. You dig? And it used to holographics and all that stuff like that was out back then. So now, right? We hanging with ball all day. We walking through like, the woods to get from 69th Street all the way. Like we hanging with ball, like we just chilling, like just having a good old time, busting it up with balls. You know what I mean, like boom, I had my little knife on me or whatever, and he was like, "Yo, let me see that joint. Oh, that's yo, can I borrow? Let me. You'll never know what happened. You know what I mean, because he seemed like the type of nigga who would rob somebody too. So anyway, so I'm like, all right, man, this is a knife. I had stole it from like Kmart or something. He's like, oh, what? I mean, he wanted to take that joint. So I'm like, hey, I mean, go ahead. I mean, shoot, I ain't think nothing of it. So I'm chilling. You know what I mean, now we walk all the way to 63rd Street, 63rd and Market. We ain't even had bread for like the train and stuff. We used to climb all the way over. See, it's these 63rd and Market. It's like these steps that go up, up, and then you pay for the train. We used to climb. It was like this thing right here or whatever. Why am I using the damn cone? It's like this thing right here, right? And then the steps is in between, like here. So it's this thing that overlaps the steps, and it's this joint. We used to climb over the thing and walk all the way up, and like climb over the little thing that you spin through and climb over that and slip under the joint just to sneak on the daggone train because the person up there can't see what's going on in like the middle. Like when they coming up, it's like boom, then it's like boom, then it's like boom. And up here, they can't see what's going on down there. So we used to sneak over. This is sad. But anyway, right? So boom, right? We hanging with the ball. We getting on. I mean, we about to go back on the train to go somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? To like 52nd Street or whatever when he had the little things. Or we used to, just hanging out around Philly because that's what you do when you ain't got no bread. We used to ride bikes around Philly, hang out around Philly. We young, but we ain't got no jobs or nothing like that. So it is what it is. So now we finally sneak up on the train or whatever. Boom. Now my homie K, he hop on the train. He going home. But the boy, like, let's go back, want to hang with me. Like, yo, you thorough. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got a couple, you got some. Like, because like we was kind of like good at doing bad stuff. So now he like, yo, you seem like we went to a couple stores. You know what I mean? He was cool. We busted it up with Bo. We hanging out around Philly with Bo. You know what I mean? Had a good old time, Jack. So now we at the platform or whatever. He get on the train, he bounce. He like, all right, I'm gonna holler at y'all later. He go home with his stuff. I'm still hanging around with Ball. Like, let's go back down there and get some more stuff, dog. I'm like, I got enough stuff. I got all kinds of in my pocket. You know what I mean? I got grub and all kinds of stuff. CD player on and robbed. So yeah, he like, yo, before the train, he like, we see the train coming like at Melbourne. So boy, like we chilling, we just standing in front of each other talking and wait. So I'm like, but then it felt like he started to press me when the train started to come. He just was focused on me. It's nobody around. Nobody around. It's just me and him on the platform. We busting it up. Next thing you know, he pulls out the knife when the joint go to Melbourne and unleashes it. You dig? He said, flip. Like, listen, if you don't just give you the shit, I'm like, oh no, stop playing. Like, I'm like, no, not my own knife. Like, I ain't got no other knife, and he already got it out, like ready to be like, ha, ha. I'm like, oh, damn. Lord, I'm like, he like, yo, like basically like, give it up, like give all like the stuff we just stole, give it up. With the same knife, ready to go like you don't like the face. You know the face when you're getting robbed in Philly. It's like I'm desperate. I need this. Like so. It's like I'm like yo, like just take this damn CD player and take like I play it. I say no more, dog. That was foul. Like it was like what goes around comes around. Like little lessons from God. You know what I'm saying? It's like wow. How I number one with my own knife. Number two with somebody who is pretending to be cool. Not everybody your friend. You know what I'm saying? It's like I learned a good lesson thinking that, especially if you hanging around other people doing bad ish or stuff worse than you or doing worse than you, and you doing stuff that they do, but not as good or not as much, and you ain't in that predicament as much as them, but you kind of doing it for the thrill of the game. They kind of doing it because they need to. You know what I'm saying? And you just like you broke, but you ain't that bro. But still, it's like whoa, like you know what I mean. This boy doing even worse. So you thinking that everybody your friend, and you thinking that because they doing bad ish too. You ain't nothing but food to some people, Jack. Like you food. Like they seeing you as food the whole time. People will play you. You know what I'm saying? People will play you. They'll play act like they cool, act like they thorough, act like they your homie. But you gotta watch people, especially if you out there doing ish that you ain't supposed to be doing. It's like when I was in the, like with the gang people or whatever and hanging with them. You know, I'm not in the gang. I don't bang none of that. Just red, but just positive vibes. You dig what I'm saying? I ain't into none of that. You know, I'm black. I'm already a target. You know what I'm saying? But I used to hang with them. You know what I'm saying? It was like when you realize that sometimes your best friends can be your worst enemies. If you hanging around, suppose you get in the gang. This is why it's hard to get out. You get in the gang, right? Or you hang around the wrong people. Now they out there doing bad ish. So as soon as you join the gang, you learn that he's a murderer and murdered 2 or 3 people. You learn that he robbed people. You learn that he can get you killed. I mean, you learn that he's the top drug dealer, and you in the gang now. You know all that information about them, and you like, hey, you know what? This ain't for me. They gonna be like, you know what? You right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, then the same knife you got, they pulled the knife out you had and everything. Like, yeah, give it up. Like, I mean, no, give up what? Your life. You know too much about me, and that ain't good. You know the good, the bad, the ugly of everything, the ins and outs of how the operation is ran. So that's why when you join the gang, they like, nah, dog. Like, what you mean? You trying to get out? You ain't got all this information on us, and you trying to bounce? What type of time you on? Nope, you hanging around the wrong people. So that's why it's like, yo, you really gotta be aware of the people that you hang out with. Because just because you thinking, oh, if you ain't built for that life or about that life or need to be about that life, or you just out there thinking that you gotta have that nah, not everybody your friend. That's just one little piece of story. I got robbed with my own knife. It happened to me though. So I mean at the time it was like, dang. You know what I mean? I fought ball in the future. I fought him right next to the same place that I was coming back because like the next week I seen him and fought him. You know what I'm saying? So that was funny. But you know what I'm saying? Hey. And he pulled the knife out again when I fought him. I walked up to him because he called me over to him like we was cool, like it was sweet. And I swung on him and hit him, boom, bang, and he pulled the knife out and I did. So yeah, it do happen. It happened. You got it. Something that really did happen too. In the grass, right next to the dang train station. I was coming from the job too. I paid that time, but let me tell you, I almost paid with my life. You know what I mean? With my own damn knife. Anyway, that's the story time for y'all today, man. It's your boy SIJ. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. I'm outie like a belly button. Peace.